They say the earth can keep secrets, that beneath every crack and rockfall, it hides the truth. And sometimes it hides bodies too. Not far from the busy roads of Kikuyu, Kiambu County, lies a place people no longer speak of by name. A place carved out by hand, pickaxe, and sweat. They call it Gitaru Quarry, but not like they used to. Once it was alive. Young men gathered there before dawn. Some were fathers. Some were hustlers. Others were just boys trying to feed their homes. Their palms were rough, lips cracked from thirst, but their laughter echoed between the cliffs as they chipped at the stone day after day. But the quarry was hungry, and one day it bit back. It was a Wednesday in March years ago. The morning began like any other. Hammers hitting rock, men shouting over each other. But that afternoon, the sky turned gray. Not with rain, but with dust, as a large section of the quarry wall gave way with no warning. 7 men disappeared under the collapse. No alarm. No sirens. Only dust, rubble, and silence. The rescue effort was frantic at first, villagers digging with their bare hands. Only 2 bodies were recovered. The rest, lost in the stone. Some said they were crushed. Others believed they were buried alive, screaming into a rock that refused to answer. The site was closed. The company, gone. No funerals, no compensation, just grief and silence. But silence can rot into something worse. Weeks later, a night guard from a nearby compound reported hearing soft whispers near the quarry. Not from the wind, but from deep below. He thought it was thieves. Climbed down with his flashlight, only to find nothing. Nothing but the wind circling the pit like a predator. Then the tools began to move. Pickaxes left behind would be found shifted. Ropes tangled. And worse, people began seeing things. A 10-year-old boy named Brian was walking home from school when he saw something that would haunt him for years. A man, crawling slowly along the edge of the quarry, covered in dust. At first, Brian thought it was one of the workers. But the man had no head, only a bloodied neck stump, and hands that dragged him forward 1 slow inch at a time. The boy ran, but even today, now 24, he refuses to go near the area. A boda rider named James, 28, once took a shortcut past the quarry after dropping off a customer. He stopped to pee, looked down into the quarry, and there, under the fading sunset, he saw a figure digging with bare hands, covered in blood. At first, he thought it was someone hurt. He called out. The figure didn't respond. He took a step forward, then blinked. It vanished. James says he got back on his bike and rode like hell. He never uses that road anymore. Then came Mama Njoki, a woman in her late 50s who lost her brother to the quarry just last year. He was a drunk, known to wander. One day, he never came home. His shoes were found neatly placed at the quarry edge. No body, no note. Just a thin trail of blood going down into the pit. Mama Njoki held a vigil. She lit candles, prayed, but something always felt unfinished. Like his soul was caught between this world and the stone. When elders finally agreed to hold a cleansing ritual at the site, the community gathered around a small fire. They brought drums, herbs, and prayers. But something went wrong. The drums split open. The fire wouldn't light. And during the ritual, one elder, Mzee Karanja, collapsed to the ground. He clutched his chest and screamed, "They're still digging. They're still digging." They carried him home. He wouldn't speak for days. That night, several people reported seeing 7 shadowy figures standing on the quarry ridge, unmoving, watching. One foolish young man, seeking online fame, decided to go live at the quarry at midnight. He stood at the edge, phone in hand, mocking the stories. He laughed. He threw a stone. And then, he heard his name whispered from the pit. Twice. Then again, louder, as if someone deep underground was calling him. He ran. Later, his footage showed something no one could explain. A shadowy hand reaching up from the rocks, just behind him, before vanishing. To this day, the quarry remains untouched. Grass has grown. The walls are cracked and brittle. But no birds nest there. No children play near it. And even boda riders detour around it, no matter how late it is. because everyone knows the men who died there never truly left. Their spirits cling to the stone, still trying to dig their way out, still calling for help that never came. And when the wind blows just right, you can still hear them, scratching, whispering, waiting, because Gitaru Quarry is not empty. It's full of unfinished stories, and the land never forgets. Subscribe for more real Kenyan ghost stories, because in places like this, not everything buried stays dead.